So, hi, Ben.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So, how is your Louder Than the DJ Christmas show doing?
You know what's funny is I'm starting working on it today. I think I'm going to start recording it on Monday. So yeah, so hopefully it'll all be ready. Yeah, it's it's a busy time of year.
Yes.
It's a busy time of year, but I'm looking forward to getting started on it today. So yeah, it should be a good one.
Perfect. So what can we look forward to?
For the show?
Yeah.
Well, I think this week or this month, I think the things I'm going to be touching on is, well, to be completely honest with you, I know the numbers in Germany with COVID are going through the roof. We here on Ontario have been doing okay for the last little while, but it's spiraling out of control again. And it's really scary going into the holidays and going into the new year with this weight looming of having to keep going and enduring this fucking thing. But so I think I'm going to try to play songs that inspire the element of hope. I think hope is something that we all need. So I'm definitely going to be playing a lot of songs that carry that and that are hopeful. I'm hopefully going to be talking to a friend or two who I can't quite say just yet. And yeah, I might play a couple clips from the interviews that I've done thus far with my friends Tim from Rise Against and Laura Jane Grace and Richard Stein, just playing my favorite moments of the interviews that I've done with them. And so yeah, I think all in all, it's a really good show.
Cool. Sounds good. So Ben, do you see yourself recording a Christmas song or Christmas album one day?
Well, what's funny about that is I was talking about it with the band last Christmas, or maybe it was 2 Christmases ago, because, record labels and, managers, they're always looking to like find an angle, you know what I mean? And so there's always like, you guys should do a Christmas song. Want to do a Christmas song? How about a Christmas song? I was like, no. But then I came to this realization that it could actually be really fun if it's done in the way that you want to do it. And I was trying to convince the band to do, the YouTube version, like Christmas, the buzz up and down.
Ah, yeah.
Baby, please come home, baby. So I think we could do a really good job at that. And so I've tabled it to the band for 2 years now. And each time they kind of look at me like, no.
One day, Ben, one day.
Maybe when we're over 50, we'll do it.
Okay, perfect. I'm looking forward to it.
Perfect.
But one thing is for sure, you release your brand new album, Crisis of Faith, in January.
Hey, finally.
Yeah, finally. So your last album was out in 2015 with Afraid of Heights. What have you been doing in that time?
Oh, well, it was actually 2016, I think it came out, but we toured the record for about 2.5 years, I'd say, all over the world and then back again. And since then, well, what have I been doing? I'm a first-time father. So I had a beautiful little girl, my best friend, about 2 years ago. She's about 2 years and 4 months. So I've been dad. Yeah, so that's been the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. Mixed in with the hardest, obviously, last 1.5 years has been incredibly difficult for all of us on planet Earth, and trying to navigate that whole strange and crazy thing that's happening around the world. So yeah, I mean, it's been an interesting time because we came out of touring and then we started writing, and then, we wanted to do something different on this album kind of thing, where we had this idea that we're going to write a song, record a song, put a song out, write a song, record a song, put a song out. And then eventually have enough of them that we could put it together and like kind of, I guess, what would be known as like a traditional kind of album. And then within that, we were going to release this short film that we were working on, and then release new music episodically for different episodes of this short film. Needless to say, that all went to hell. And so we had to stop and reconfigure. And so, yeah, this was definitely the most challenging record that we've ever done, just because of all, just with everything. Like we recorded half and then had to stop, and then we finished writing and then recorded the next half. But because of COVID, we just would go in individually. So we weren't ever really in the same room together for, a long time.
Yeah.
I became a dad. Ian lost his mom, unfortunately, not to COVID, but due to other reasons. And so, yeah, it's been a very challenging process. But I think that the good that comes from that is that we have this amazing record that we are beyond proud of. And it feels strange that it's been so long that we haven't shared new music, but we're looking forward to, the wait is over, or soon to be over. And I think that this is all of the struggle and all of what we've had to endure has come out in this beautiful piece of music. Sure.
So the thing, what you said, where you wanted to write the music and you wanted to put it out and then go to the next song. Was this the reason why Forgiveness 1 and 2 was released in 2019 and so on?
Exactly. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Okay.
So we had the right idea. Yeah. Sorry. What were you going to say?
No. And so it was not intended to release the whole album in 2020.
No, I know that. No, I mean, to be honest with you, we had no idea really what we were doing. But we just knew that we were kind of tired of doing the same, write a record, record a record, tour the record, write a record. We've been doing that for, almost 20 years. Right. So that cycle just kind of becomes a bit annoying. In the sense where it's like, you want to switch it up and you want to keep your fans excited and you want to keep ourselves inspired. And so, so we just decided to do this, try this different way of doing things. And also, we're also trying to be open-minded in the sense of like how people consume now, right? Like it's a lot different than it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes people just, want a song, and other people are traditionalists like ourselves that they want like a full record, So we were kind of trying to figure out how we as a band, how we work within that. And if people just want to hear a couple songs here and there, or do they want the whole body of work? And it's been an interesting process, and one that COVID has, that has made the decision for us. Mm-hmm. Is that, we did put out a whole bunch of songs individually and people really like that. But then the other half are like, well, we want the whole record. And now it's like, okay, well, here you go.
Okay.
It's been interesting to see, I think the one thing that we're always trying to talk about within the band is, you have to keep adapting, and you have to be able to be fluid and to understand that the world changes and you need to change and go along with it. And what I mean by that is like, there's some friends of mine who are just like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do it the way I've done it, 100 times and expect the same results. And it doesn't work. So you have to be willing to compromise, and you have to be willing to try new things. And personally, and one thing that's great about the band and all the guys in the band is that we're all open to that. Like we're not these crusty old men being like, well, this is how it has to be. You know what I mean? It's like, we're not like that. We're very much excited to try new things and to explore different avenues. And so anyway, it's a long-winded answer to a question, but yes.
Oh, it's good. It's okay. So, and how's Aaron doing? So, I mean, he unfortunately couldn't record much songs on Afraid of Heights. So, did something change with the Crisis of Faith?
Unfortunately not. No, his health is, he's doing okay. And I thank you for asking, because I love him very, very much. But so how can I say this? He is still involved in every aspect of this band. Every decision we make, every email, every call, he's at the studio. Like when we're there, he's there every day with us, so he is still so much involved in every aspect that he's still here. He's still present with us. It's not as if like he had to stop playing and he's just kind of gone. He's still part of our family and will always be part of our family. And so, he's working on some different things right now within the band. So we started a charity trust. And what that means is we work with different charities. Mm-hmm. And so what we're doing is we've decided that we're going to start our own charity. Like it's a trust so we raise money, and then all of the money raised goes to all of the different charities that we're aligned with. And so Aaron's becoming the head of that. So he's in charge of doing that, he's the perfect person to do that because he has such a big heart and he's such a great human. So we have some really cool ideas, hopefully within touring aspects, because we're part of a project which I encourage other bands out there who are listening to do the same thing. And what it is we take $1 from every ticket that we sell around the world, every show, $1 from every ticket, and we put it into a pool, like a fund, and then that we distribute the money to all of the different charities within that. So
cool.
It's an amazing organization, and it started here in Canada by one of the members of Arcade Fire, and it's just such a beautiful concept because no one has a lot of money right now, no one. But everyone has an extra $1, right? And if everyone just gives that $1, and I know it sounds like a simple, a simple idea and a simple construct, but it's actually beautiful and it's really effective.
An amazing idea, yeah.
Yeah, and so we've done it now for the last 2 records, I guess. And so, but again, that only works when we can tour, and as you know, we haven't been able to tour in a long time. So, but once we get back to touring, Aaron's going to be in charge of running the charity. So anyway, long story, but he's doing well. He's still very much engaged and very active in everything Billy Talent. And this is kind of cool. I'll tell you something. I'll bring this up on Louder Than the DJ as well. But so there's a guy named Andy Kim, who's a lovely guy. And Andy Kim is an older gentleman now, but he wrote, Sugar, 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 do, 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 do.
Yeah.
Songs of all time, right? And he does this annual Christmas charity event where bands play, and he's raised like millions of dollars for CAMH, which is like it's a place for mental health.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a good story, and I'll try to make it short. But anyway, so we got asked to play this year again. We've done it before. We got asked to play this year, so we said yes. And Alex Lifeson, there's 2 parts to the story. So one, Aaron came up and played. So we played 2 songs. Billy Talent played 2 songs, and Aaron came up and actually played with us last week. So that was beautiful.
Cool.
Super cool. Yeah, it was a beautiful moment. And then Ian and I got asked to sing The Battle of Evermore by Led Zeppelin and the end of Stairway to Heaven with this super group with Alex Lifeson from Rush. So we played some Led Zeppelin songs with Rush, which is pretty cool. Anyway, that's my 2-part story.
Oh, that's cool. Sounds good. Sounds really good. But with Jordan, you found a new drummer, and it fits in the band. So he fits in the band.
I think, the reality is Jordan plays in a band called Alexis on Fire, who are our dear friends. And so when Alexis had stopped kind of touring and weren't really doing anything, it all kind of came together in this perfect storm. And we asked him to play drums on Afraid of Heights, and he said yes. And we were hoping that Aaron would be feeling, better at a point where he could live, and he wasn't. So then we just asked Jordan if he'd be inclined to play on tour with us, and he was like, yeah, I guess so. Which was incredibly generous of him to loan his talents and abilities to us and to the band. And he's a wonderful guy, and I care a lot about him. And then once that whole cycle ended, we started working on some new songs, and then he recorded these new songs with us. And it's not looking like he's going to be playing with us live coming again this summer and stuff, because he's Alexis on Fire are back together and are playing some shows. So he's obviously going back to his original band. And so,
okay.
But anyway, yeah. So he played on the record though, and he did, as he always does, such an amazing job. And the drums sound fucking amazing. So yeah, we're very happy to have had him play on this one as well.
Okay. So you're searching for a new drummer for the touring next year?
Well, we're working on it, but we have a person that we're playing with right now, and it's feeling really good and really great. But I can't speak too much about it right now. But yeah, it's there's another. We've been blessed to have a short list actually. People that are playing with us who are just, not only are great drummers, but they're just great human beings. And that's the most important part. So yeah.
Cool. Very cool. The album title, Crisis of Faith, what does it mean?
Well, that's a good question. I think to us, and I know I keep going back to the pandemic and things, but we're not out of this thing. So it's still very much apparent to all of us. So I think what we were realizing is that a crisis of faith, always has that connotation of like your faith in a higher being, which it does. But I think that what we've been, with everything that's happened over the last 5 years, whether it be with, the rise and fall of Trump, and with climate change and the world literally either, being flooded or on fire, and with, airborne, pandemics unlike anything we've ever known or seen before and stuff in the movies, with the people protesting in the streets, so I guess for us, the crisis of faith was kind of embodying all that. It's not just your faith in leaders. It's questioning your faith in leaders. It's questioning your faith within yourself, within the people who are around you. It's, the infrastructures that we believe to be foolproof have shown their weaknesses, And so I think it just comes into play of questioning your faith in everything, and your faith in yourself, and your faith in your community. Those are the most important things. And for us, the one thing that we've always tried to do and in this band is to always be hopeful. And that's really important to us. So although we feel that the times have been the most challenging times in the last, at least in our lifetime, that we know that things are going to get better, and that we know that we're going to be together again. And we know that the only thing that you can do is try to be the best person you could be the best friend you could be, the best family member you could be, and just within your small world and your community, try your best to bring people up and to help people when they need help, and to also ask for help if you need help, So again, it's a bit of a long-winded answer, but I guess it's questioning the faith in everything and realizing and knowing that it's going to be okay.
Always look on the bright side of life.
At least when you can. Someday, we all have shit days. It's okay to have those bad days. But also just know that there's going to be good days ahead as well.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite song on the record, on the new record?
I don't know if I have a favorite per se. One song that means a lot to me is the last song on the record. And it's a song called For You. Ian had wrote this beautiful, musically, it has this, it's a beautiful song. And him and I were working on the lyrics and trying to figure it out. just couldn't figure it out. And we just said, you know, let's just stop working on it. And so we stopped working on it for months. And then eventually we kind of came back to it. And the thing that we were trying to do, and it seems like everything I'm talking about is really heavy. But that's just who we are. But, you know, we wanted to create this song about true love. And what I mean by that is that love is infinite and time is infinite. And the time we get to share with each other is small and limited. But that love continues forever. And me being a new father and seeing my daughter in my arms for the first time, that love. Mm-hmm. And then having Ian losing his mother in that same kind of time frame, that love is still there. And regardless if it's at the beginning of the life or exiting life, that can never be compromised. And that love will always be strong. And so for us, we wanted to make a song that kind of shows that circle, and that it, no matter where you go and no matter where we're at in this universe, is that love will always reach to and from, you know? So, yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It's a really good song. I heard it.
Thank you. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway.
I also really like the song Reckless Paradise. It reminds me of Devil in the Midnight Mass. It's my favorite. It's my all-time favorite song.
Oh, thank you.
So, but how did that come about, that it sounds a little bit like?
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess when you've been a band for so long, eventually you kind of go back to the things that, you know, I just remember Ian showing us like that riff, like, you know, us being like, holy shit, that sounds amazing. And then we're like, wow, that sounds very similar to Devil, you know, in the sense of like, just like how it comes in, and yeah, it just feels like BT, you know, like Devil in the Midnight Mass was written, you know, probably 20 years ago, right? Or close to, I guess, and around there. So yeah, so to have, you know, I don't know. I guess it just kind of feels like our sound, you know, in a weird way. It's very unique unto the band. Yeah, that song. I mean, it was, again, going back to what I was talking about. Like, that song was written kind of in the early days of, you know, what was happening around the world and with Trump and things like that. And it's more or less just saying, like, we all sit behind our computers and we read all of the tragedies that happened on a daily basis, you know, but at the end of the day, it's not enough to just say like, oh, I'm sorry, sending my thoughts and prayers. If you want change, you have to fucking change. You either have to find that change within yourself. And like I was saying earlier, within your friends, within your community, within your crew of people that you roll with, like, you have to be able to inspire that change. And it's not going to happen easily. And if you're not happy about something, to go out and stand up for it and to say, that's wrong. And I don't want that to happen to me or to anybody else that I love. And so, yeah, that song is more, it's an empowering song to realize that, you know, I guess, again, to be hopeful is that, you know, the change and the world that you want to live in, you have to fight to get there, to make it the way you want.
Mm-hmm. And there's also the song Hanging Out with All the Wrong People. So who are these wrong people?
Well, I mean, I think we all have people in our life at a certain point where we're like, you know, you make some bad decisions here and there. But that song is more or less, you know, that a lighthearted song in the sense of that it, you know, it kind of tells the story of a kid growing up and hanging out with these people that, you know, led him astray, and he started getting involved with like the police, and then, you know, kind of talking about his friends, and the people then they have bad luck and all these bad things happen to them. And then eventually, you know, this crook becomes the politician, right? So it's kind of it's a very, it was a fun song to write, because in a song like that, you have more allowances to be more creative in the sense of like having more humor involved and not being as serious all the time, you know? So, but it's actually one of my favorite songs on the record as well.
Veronica, just a heads up, we're running a bit out of time, so maybe last question.
Okay. So you already announced a couple of shows. Is there also a bigger tour planned?
Yep. Yeah. It's been. I'll tell you, Veronica, it's been one of those things where it's like we have all of these dates and then we have to move them, and then we have the dates and then we move, and then we have the dates and we have to move. So it's just been this constant kind of back and forth. So within the band, within our world, we just kind of said, until we have it, until there's actual hope that we can do this, as opposed to, anyway, yeah, it's been this moving target. So, but I will say this, we have a long and extensive tour of Germany and Austria. And we can't announce it just yet because I think there's some moving parts still, but we were going to be spending so much time there and I can't wait. We miss Germany so much and it's been so long, so anyway, yeah. So yes, we will be there. Obviously, we are playing at Rock am Ring, Rock am Park this summer. All that's like going to be the first thing that we do. And then we have a very long tour planned in 2022. It's just a matter of and when.
I understand. Yeah. So we're looking forward to it.
Us as well. Trust me. We miss Germany very, very much. Yeah. Well, thank you.
So thank you very much, Ben. It was a pleasure talking to you, and stay safe and hear you soon next Friday on Louder Than the DJ.
That's right. Thank you. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.